I think the small town atmosphere is just so well grounded. You know, everything is common sense, the right approach. It was all built here.
He probably doesn't even know how much of an influence, you know, he's had in my life as far as never giving up.
You know, the school districts and the schools, they can teach you the information you need to know and prepare you to college, but I still think athletics teaches you how to survive in life.
Clay Center, it's a small, you know, agricultural-based town, a blue collar for sure, you know, and if you're not farming, there's manufacturing here in town that deals with farming, and then, you know, the basic services there we have, but you know, everybody who I knew growing up, all the time I was growing up, is that you got out of bed in the morning, you went to work every day, and sometimes late at night, and you got home, and then you enjoyed the weekends. It makes you not take for granted the things that you do have, and so I'll always remember that for this town.
We didn't grow up with a lot, but we didn't know any different. You know, I mean, it was nothing to us for us to all sit down at night and eat a bologna sandwich and not think two things about it. We went to bed every night knowing our parents loved us. We lived a good life as far as we knew.
You know, in a community like this, especially when he grew up, you know, everybody was on a bicycle, everybody was outside. My oldest son was a year younger than Tracy, and when they were 6, 7 years old, they used to walk up and down the riverbank. They'd fish all afternoon if they could. And so, you know, he just lived outside doing stuff all the time.
He was as laid back as you could get. He just kind of took things as they come, and he was just a nice kid, a nice guy. And as far as I know, got along with everybody.
I think the attitude that Tracy picked up early on was that, you know, if things were going to change for him, as far as the future, it's going to be up to him.
Even when he was in college, he would travel for Coach Weaver and do scouting reports and other things for us. When he would go watch other games and do scouting. We knew he was going to, someday he was going to be coaching somewhere.
When he first got out of college, he was finishing his last year, I think. And he came back here and he wanted to help the football program. They weren't going to let him unless he was on staff, and they weren't going to hire him. And they wouldn't let him do it for nothing. So they gave him $1, and that was his pay.
People say, well, you're probably really surprised Tracy's at Northern Illinois. Are you surprised they got the job in Minnesota? Are you surprised Tracy's a head coach now? I knew he had the skill to do that. I knew he had the smarts to do it. I obviously knew he knew football inside and out, and so he's where he needs to be.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Tracy, and I'll tell you what, I'd walk as far as it took to see this kid. He is one awesome kid.
I don't think there's any doubt that, you know, you take a kid and who's worked hard and didn't have a lot and came up through, and all of a sudden the head coach in the Big Ten. I think everybody, you know, takes a little pride in that being from the community, and I'm very appreciative of that.
The first time I went to TCF Bank, you know, and I looked down on the field and see where he was a kid and how he's come up, it brought tears to my eyes, because it really touched me to know where he's come from and where he's at now.